Good morning, pregame crew. How are ya? I hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great weekend. Congratulations to South Carolina and Iowa women's basketball. It is 6:22 a.m. Mountain Time, 8:22 a.m. Eastern. It is April 8th, 2024, a Monday. We have the men's championship tonight. That'll be fun. Let me say hello to my friends and do an audio-visual check. If you can let me know if you can hear me, see my screen. Good morning, Dollar Tree Farmer. Hey, Shake and Bake, Greg, Mark, Sir Fernando, Donald. Hey, Tom, One-Liner, Sam, Spaceball, Topher, Tess, Success, Hold My Bag. Hey, Paula. Hey, Mike. Hey, Carlos. I guess everything's working, so I'll just go with it. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if the eclipse affects trading or the market. You never know. Okay, UNH. Perfect, thank you. I was looking at UNH this morning as a possible trade because we're holding that 44960. And we're getting these little lower lows without follow through. And I said, you know what? This still looks like crap. If we're going to trade insurance, let's trade insurance. Look at Cigna. That looks so much better. So I know where you're going with that. I thought this had a better squeeze. Super tight range. This is very low volume, this 368. So I don't believe this gap up at the moment. But if it were to hold a gap up, it could be a good long setup. It has a potential 2-day bull flag. Yes, CI looks so much better than UNH. UNH got hit last week. A lot of the insurance companies did when they found out that there would be a shortfall in Medicare funds as far as what they thought they were going to receive and what they're actually going to receive. That's my prior life is revenue cycle management. UCAR. So it had a split. Wow. When I look at this is what's going on in my head right now. This will end in a trail of tears. Don't let it be yours. You'll get these pop-ups and then they come back down. It's just a gimmick. They do these splits so they can stay listed. If I'm understanding this chart correctly. 15-minute equilibrium. Key resistance 867, key support 680. I think I'd be remiss if I gave you a target. If you're in long, I'd stay in long as the 2-minute EMAs are below you. Be very careful. Hey, K-Mac. Thank you on the AV. I have a question for y'all. Does the Hatch clock, who has it? Do y'all think it's worth it? I've heard so much about how wonderful it is, and I really despise my alarm clock. My goal every day is to get up without it, but sometimes it does go off and it drives me nuts. It jolts me, and I want that calmer awake. I value my sleep and how I wake up very much so. Okay. Yeah, Bitcoin's looking great. MNMD for Sharon. NMD is in a daily uptrend. Weekly got a higher high without follow through. Why am I doing sing song? I don't know. 1288 and we hit 1222. So 1288 is your next resistance over 1222. On the 4-hour chart, you've pulled back enough that now on the next bounce up, you'll be looking for a lower high. So bears will be looking at top fish, that 1222. Or what was the number? Yeah, 1222. Bears will be looking to top fish that. I did see earnings next week, success, and you may be onto something. I like trading UNH a lot. Net, I love this daily squeeze. That looks good at the daily 50 MA. And we held this 90-80 on the weekly EQ. Got to be careful that that isn't a daily bear flag, but it is just scrunching up along the daily 50 MA. I like this. Need it to get over 97.30. Okay, crack-a-lackin'. We'll get started in 2 minutes officially. I'm just warming up. The EQ isn't clean on the daily. Weekly is barely over the 26 EMA. On the daily chart, we're holding the 12 EMA just fine. On the 4 hour, we got a downtrend. It's all about 643. So 653 was Friday's low, and then the other low is 643. We need to hold that level, or we could have more incoming consolidation. You wake up without an alarm too, Dylan. I would say 90% of the time I wake up without an alarm. It's just that 10% I don't want with the alarm. There's a Hatch dupe on Amazon. I may try that first. I don't know. UNH has such a clear double bottom that you know where you're wrong. Success, you know exactly where you're wrong. 44960 below that, your long idea was wrong. Bitcoin was good overnight, huh? All right, let's get this show on the road. Good morning. This is who I am. I'm Chart Gal Lori. If you want to give me a follow on X at Chart Gal Lori, that'd be lovely. Check us out on chartguys.com. And that'd be great. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, notify, just hit some good buttons for us. How about that? Today we have a pretty boring day. We have mega Fed speak this week. Let me show you. Look at all the Fed speak we have this week. And I was listening to Ed, I can't say his last name. He's on CNBC. He's so smart. And he was saying that he thinks all this Fed speak is very bad for the overall market because it creates unnecessary volatility and concern too frequently. And I agree with him. And nobody asked, but I agree. All right, we have the 3-month bill auction, 6-month bill auction. Most importantly, we have CPI this week on Wednesday, and we have PPI on Friday. And PPI on Thursday, and no 3-star events on Friday. So we do have CPI, and we have bank earnings that start at the end of this week. We have JPM, Wells Fargo, lots of big earnings kick off at the end of this week. All right, so starting with ES. If I can get to it. I need to clean up my list. Again, I say that and I never do because I don't like to remove tickers. All right, good morning. More glister. All right, so on the 4 hour on ES, we have a downtrend. We got a lower high. Now, is this our higher low, or do we set another higher low relative to 51.9150? I like it better on the 8 hour. It's less wicky. Yeah, this is much cleaner. Now we're looking for a higher low relative to 51.9150 on ES. This is important. We haven't even grazed the daily 50 MA right here at 51.60. This yellow line right there. We have not even come close to it. So ES is held up stronger than NASDAQ. Look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ got below it, but did not get a candle body close below and is now trying to get back up and over the daily EMAs. Look at NASDAQ on the 4 hour, very similar to ES. Very similar. And we are green by the hair of our chinny chin chin today. So I would say we're opening pretty flat. And it may be boring as heck between now and Wednesday as people wait for CPI. All right, RTY, we're looking for 8-hour low or high. And we could get a higher low, but we haven't necessarily made a ton of room for it on the Russell. But the Russell's a little bit stronger than NQ and ES. Nice bounce testing Friday's high right here. The Dow is going sideways. I didn't show you the hourly chart. We have a nice squeeze here on ES and on the NASDAQ. So on the Dow, 8-hour, we're looking for the lower high, higher low, and then do we EQ out and then break higher, or EQ out and break lower? That remains to be seen. If I'm putting my, well, what kind of hat was I going to call it? If I'm really analyzing everything as a whole, I would say we have a higher chance of going up than down because of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a risk-on instrument, and it had a very bullish night. So we did not break the high of March 13th yet, but we had a very bullish night, and Ethereum had a bullish night. So is this a risk-on environment or no? And are folks saying, hey, we're not that scared? Or are they grabbing tools or instruments or assets that they think are a little more immune to the dollar, like gold and like Bitcoin? I don't know the answer to that. I'm not an economist. Shoot, I went to Louisiana public schools, so, take that with a grain of salt. Gotta love gold and silver, don't you? It's beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, let me go back. Hang Seng was slightly green overnight. DAX was good and green. VIX, we could have a 4-hour bull flag. The hourly is getting really choppy. So we'll see if we continue in this 8-hour uptrend, or do bears put in a lower high relative to 1692 and we get a pullback on VIX. We will see. Bitcoin, we just went over it, super bullish. We are very overbought on the hourly chart. So we are in back burner mode on Bitcoin. So if you don't have a position in Bitcoin right here, right now, this is not the place to chase. What happens to dogs when they chase cars? They get ran over. You want to wait for a pullback, be patient, wait for 5 and 15 minute oversold for potential longs on Bitcoin. Dollar is getting real tight on the 4-hour and the hourly, and it's impressive that dollar is green and gold had the move that it had overnight, which gold is giving a lot of that move back, and we're back flat. However, gold did have a pretty strong move overnight. Dixie, this could be a rising wedge on the dollar. Getting tiny higher highs without follow through. I mean tiny ones. Gold hourly downtrend confirmed. 4-hour, we're looking for a higher low. That does look like a blow off top though with that upper wick on that candle. Let me go to GDX real quick because it was gapping up earlier. Okay. On GDX, if we drop below $33.99 or $34, that could be a top fish level. This is how I'm looking at it. If we pull into Friday's range and then test $33.99, that could be a top fish level right there for a blow off top potentially in gold, because this big upper wick on the 4-hour chart. So GDX may be a good day trade. I may have to change one of these. Yeah, I'm going to change this one out. I want GDX there. Okay. Oil is red. Potential 4-hour head and shoulders developing here, and I can't draw. So potential 4-hour head and shoulders on oil. We are still looking for a possible monthly lower high. Bulls have shown no sign of wanting to put that in anytime soon. Let me look at the 4-hour. I may have to go back and look at that later. Platinum and oil have been trading pretty clean. Yeah, this may be a top fish here on platinum as well. I'll have to go back and look at this again because I didn't look at platinum, silver, or oil this morning. Apple. An apple a day keeps the bulls away. We're down here testing Friday's low. It has been super weak. Weekly bear flag potential. It confirmed below with 26 cents. I'm going to call that a weekly double bottom for now, but oil bulls need to get their butt in gear sooner than later. It has been very weak and definitely the bear's choice to pick on. Amazon is having a great open. We are gapping up. We have all-time highs at 188.11 and 188.65. Yep, right over here. And as it stands now, I would say that this could be a magnet, these all-time highs over here for the bulls with this nice gap up. Amazon has relative strength. Nvidia got some upgrades. It is now gapping up. Gap rules apply. You want to see Friday's high hold as support on any pullback for a possible move up, looking for this weekly bull flag to confirm. Yeah, we're not even near the 50 MA on Nvidia, and on QQQ we're sitting on it. It has definitely been stronger. Tesla, this has falling wedge behavior, meaning lower lows without a lot of follow through. And bulls need to put up or shut up today. And it could be tomorrow, but they're really running out of time here before they get further downtrends here. 160.51, 160.51. We have a weekly double bottom. That bear flag is holding on by the hair of its chinny chin chin. Thanks, Emmy Berber. I went to Elizabeth High School in Elizabeth, Louisiana and graduated with 10 people. Then I went to LSU and got my business administration degree and then my MBA. So I'm all Louisiana all the way around, and I just poke jokes at it because I think it's funny. But I don't mind being the butt of some jokes. Not all of them, some. There are 346 views so far and only 58 likes. If you could hit that like button, that'd be great. So it's all about 160.51. I love this exactness that Tesla gives us often. I think it's a good sign that we're opening up closer to Friday's high than Friday's low. I think bulls will take anything as a bull sign. And we were up higher this morning because Elon announced robo-taxis later this year or something to that effect. That's right, go Tigers. Saturday stunk though, but that's okay. You know? No, what was it, Saturday? No, Thursday night? When did we lose? Oh well, it's okay. It is what it is. Okay. Cigna is very tight on the hourly and the 4 hour. We've got a squeeze. It has a potential 2-day bull flag. It shows a gap up at the moment, but that's not, actually let me look. How many shares have traded in Cigna? 589 shares. So that this doesn't count yet, but I think if we could get a pullback to 364.26 Friday's high, that could be a good long entry on Cigna. I love this tightening pattern and compression we have going on. Just a minute, I lost my chat. Okay. Now, choosing ones that outperform Bitcoin is not crazy. That's a good strategy for alts. Okay, on ELF, we have a potential hourly falling wedge. Okay, what happened last week? So what had happened was Ulta announced that they expect like a decline in sales in the next quarter, and it brought ELF down with it. So ELF and Ulta are not the same things. ELF is a very affordable makeup where Ulta hardly has anything affordable in there. So with Ulta, it got dragged down with Ulta, but we've got these tiny lower lows without follow through. This is falling wedge behavior on ELF. And we're looking for a weekly higher low. We had this big pullback, but we are at the 26 EMA looking for a weekly higher low, and daily got oversold on Friday. So this falling wedge I think is worth looking at. DXYZ, this has been a crazy mover. I think you could keep it on back burner watch. Look at this new IPO. We don't have a lot of data. It's my understanding it has a pretty low float. So be careful with this name. This is for those ninja scalpers. A-Lab, DXYZ, Reddit, they should still give you some volatility, those three newer IPOs. FCX, potential daily bull flag, gapping up, gap rules apply. As long as 49.58 holds, Friday's high, that is a long signal. I love this pattern. And this is the chart that I continue to just gush over every time I'm on a mic. Look at that EQ. Find me a monthly EQ like that and I'll send you a trophy or something. Blonde Bayou Barbie price action day trader. That is funny. I'm trying to get a little more blonde. My hairstylist moved out of state and I think it's a good thing. It gives me a chance to actually get some real blonde again. Okay. Next, GE. This has been a major mover. Look at that chart. I like this for back burner. We got a 5-minute back burner over here. On Thursday, I think you could look for a 15-minute back burner on GE. Snow, this is a higher risk one, and I don't like it. The part I don't like about this setup is it doesn't have a squeeze. I like when we have squeezes, but we have potential inverse head and shoulders here on Snow. It's been beat down on earnings, like really beat down on earnings. It's down what? 36% on earnings. So we broke this low here, 151.49. So I'm using in my head 150 as a stop. And I'm looking for this inverse head and shoulders. I'll probably use 153.15 as an intraday support level. But if you were looking for a swing and you wanted a more aggressive stop, I think you could look for a long on Snow against 150. All right, those are all my Queen of the Mountain trades. I'm going to take a few requests. Hershey's been popular with cocoa. What happened here? I see a news bubble. We're holding the daily 50 MA. A daily higher low is most likely compared to 189.11. This could be a bearish diamond reversal pattern, so be careful here. It could be, but doesn't have to be. As long as this daily 50 MA holds, you could look for a potential daily higher low. Not my favorite pattern though, overall. Neo, I need water. 32 degrees here, y'all, and it's April 8th, for goodness sakes. Breaking records. Okay. So Neo, has been beat down. We are not in black dirt breakdown. We do have other supports over here, and I don't know what it's going to take for bulls to show interest in this. When we get these bull blips, these dark pools come in and they just start selling it off. So 436, 438, clear double bottom. CGC. I'm going to wrap it up here in just a few minutes so I can start live in the chat room. CGC has a nice little squeeze going on here, 1036 resistance, but that's a big range, 893 to 1036, and we know CGC likes to do that. It's opening up closer to Friday's high than Friday's low, so that's good for bulls. Daily uptrend. I would draw this trend line and make sure it stays above that or watch out below. I'm doing one per person. The sound should be working. I've been talking for, Lord, 30 minutes. Please let it be working or this would have been a bummer. Okay, so crowd lost the daily 50 MA, closed with an inside bar. We're below the hourly 50 MA. Weekly's just going sideways. This is a tough pattern. I wouldn't call it a monthly bull flag because that big upper wick of profit taking. Bulls need to step in here sooner than later. I don't have a clear read. Thank you, Donald. I did Tesla already. Tesla looks good, opening up closer to the high of Friday than the low, and we got a potential falling wedge. Bulls need to put up or shut up. That was fun to say. Intel is down at support. I was looking at that this morning, 38.51, 38.51 double bottom. You could play off that level and say, hey, I'll get it as close to 38.51 as I possibly can, and if it breaks, it breaks, and you have a gap area at 33.01 that could be a target, and we're losing the daily 200 MA. Dylan, you got me. You said Lord Dizzle, Lori Dizzle. Daily inside bar. Potential weekly bull flag. This thing has been steady Eddie. Got to get over 42651, then 42867. A little choppy on the 4 hour for me, but it does have a squeeze on the 4 hour. All right, that's it. I'm done. I'm going to go kick off the stream for chart, guys. Love you all. Go give me a follow on X at ChartGalLori and use stop losses.